What's up, everyone? Day 3 of the 250K. Oh my God, my voice just gave. That was awesome. Tournament with the legendary Mitch Richmond. Mitch, what is going on, my friend?
Nothing much, man.
I'm so glad that you can join me because we are talking all things building my team. Somebody's going to win 250K. It's coming up pretty soon. Today is the third qualification day out of 4. 8 more people will move on towards that final qualification day in just a little bit in March, and we're excited about that. And so 4 guys from PS, 4 guys from Xbox are going to move one step closer to winning $250,000. Of course, the first place guy gets 200K, second place guy gets 50K. So let's get it started. Mitch, first of all, when you were coming up in the league, did you think that gaming would lead to some?
Oh my God, Illuminati! Thank you for the 20 months.
Somebody making this much
Bro, I
money.
appreciate you. Chat,
I mean, we're talking
like an
about
actual
a
pig.
lot of
So
cash, right?
Darth,
Like,
the Lord,
could you have imagined that this was going to happen?
Not at all. Not a chance. So many guys, play it, but we never thought it would become into a monetary thing. Not at all.
Yeah, 100%. We are going to have locker codes. Actually, Mitch, we're going to have an amethyst card locker code for your card, which will be available till midnight tonight. But I wanted to talk to you, and I will talk to you a little bit about what you sort of see as your fantasy teams, but you also what you would have built yourself as in the fantasy world. So let's get that cracking real quick. My team, of course, is assembling a fantasy roster, pulling cards, and getting, trying to build a roster that can win a championship. Talk to me about like who your Mount Rushmore, the top 5 guys are. Who would you assemble in a roster that could not be beaten by anybody in the history of the NBA?
Man, well, definitely I would. You're talking. I would just build a team. I definitely would build a team with size, and I was definitely with size and length, and so at every position it would be very difficult. For especially if I want to play a zone, if I want to play man to man, I have some big guys up there at the front, and I would mix it up. I would play some 2 guards at the point guard position at times, but I would have a all the way around roster with guys that can really kind of shoot the J. The big guys from 15 feet in, they can shoot the jump shot.
Well, I mean, look, Run TMC was exactly that, right? Like, obviously, Timmy, yourself, and Chris. Chris was kind of one of those generational players. Like, do you think Chris Mullin's game, I mean, obviously it translated back then, but now with like the expansion of big men shooting from everywhere on the court, how would his game have played in the modern day NBA?
Man, I think Chris would be fine because the one thing Chris' game, when you look at his game was all built on being in shape, knowing how to shoot from everywhere across the court, never stop moving. So he would be a guy I think would be really good because you can't hand check now. So he was a slow player, but he was methodical with his moves. But he was a dead eye shooter.
Yeah, I mean he could space the court. I'm sure he was stretched even further. Obviously, just that wasn't expected, right? Like all of these guys in the past few years, analytics, all of that has changed the game to a 3-point style game. I mean, how do you know how many 3-pointers you made in your career?
I don't know how many, but I can remember shooting 5 sometimes and saying, you know what, I'm shooting too many today.
Shooting too many.
Yeah, I got to start driving. And then I saw one game where J.R. Smith took 23 3-point shots.
Oh, who would have thought J.R. shooting?
J.R. Smith 23. And I was like, man, and I look back at it, me and Chris always talk about it, and Tim, we should have shot more threes, man, when we were playing.
It's crazy. I mean, I bet a lot of the OGs are like looking back and being like, I could have shot it, but if I had the green light, and maybe, I mean, Steph's just jumped into the 20. He hit his 25th 103. Dame Lillard jumped into the top 20 last night in 3-pointers made. There's a lot of guys that are recent on that list because you guys just weren't allowed to shoot back then.
Yeah, and I think you can really kind of change the complexity of the game back then too. I think, when you have both teams shooting, 40, 45 threes a game, then you have the ability to, probably launch up a little bit more. But back then, if you took a bad 3-point shot, it was devastating for a team.
And would lead out to leak outs and all that stuff.
Lead out to leak outs, and team was defending very well. And I'm just saying, I can't imagine. I mean, I'm just be looking at the guys sometimes like, man, they shoot a lot of threes. But that's the game today.
That is the game. I mean, Kyrie had 7 on opening night. I mean, it's just like it's the norm. So you mentioned hand checks, and we've been talking a lot about 3-pointers. And I see you guys in the chat. We're going to be doing locker codes. We also are going to be doing giveaways. Ben is in the chat holding it down with giveaways. We're also going to take a look at the leaderboard in just a second. But Mitch, you mentioned hand checks and, the endless range that happens in the game now. How can you build a roster of those old guys, right? Like in NBA 2K, we have Bill Russell, we have Kareem, we have all of these guys. Sidney Moncrief is on my team card in the recently released packs this weekend. Obviously, Magic is the title one of that pack. But then there's all the new players. So if you were to build a roster of 5 guys throughout the history of the NBA, how are you building this team? Talk to me about those 5 guys.
Well, I definitely want to get guys that really kind of play on the defensive end. I don't want just all scorers. I want guys that can really kind of play on both sides. So it got to be versatile. I don't want to, have a guy that just play defense and can't score. I want guys that can play defense and score. Okay. So I would build my roster with building my roster on the defensive end first.
Okay. So talk to me about who your guards would be.
Okay. Well, my guards would be, I love Kobe. Kobe plays defense. I love Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan plays defense. So at the point guard position, let me see. I can go with.
You're sticking them at one of them at 1, or sticking one of them at 3, maybe.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Get both in the lineup.
Exactly. So I'm trying to mix and match a little bit. Where I can have Kobe and Michael play a combination of the point guard position, and then they can do it. I can have Scottie Pippen also.
Oh, wow. So you're putting Scottie in your 5. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's go with that top 5. Let's go right now.
We got to go with the top 5. I got to hear
Let's go. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I will go, definitely go Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Wilt, he runs up and down the court. He gets all the rebounds. At the 4 position, man. 4 position.
There were a lot of good 4s. You got Timmy. You got some of the new age guys. LeBron, you could stick it for. Giannis, you can stick it for.
Yeah, I think I go with LeBron at the 4. No,
okay.
You know what? I won't go with LeBron at the 4. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go at the 4 position. I'm going to go with Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Go with Tim Duncan at the 4.
All right.
At the 3, I'm going to go Tracy McGrady.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I'll go Tracy McGrady at the 3 because, long, lengthy. At the, you know what, man, I'm okay. Hold on. I'm mixing it up. I will go.
Everybody struggles with this question. I mean, with all the great players in the history of the NBA and all of the different skill sets. And then again, you're trying to figure out during that, the rules have changed.
Right.
There's guys, I mean, that would score a lot more and a lot less in these different generations. So it's a tough question. But okay, so you got Wilt at 5, Timmy at 4.
No. Okay, I'm scratch that.
You're starting over.
I'm starting over. Okay, I'm going Wilt at the 5. I'm going Durant at the 4. I'm gonna put LeBron at the point.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna put LeBron at the point. I'm gonna put Kobe at the 2, and then I need a 3-man, right?
Yeah, you gotta put MJ at the 3.
I'm gonna put MJ at the 3.
Yeah. There it is. All right, so we got LeBron at the point.
Yes.
MJ at 2.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Kobe at 2. MJ at 3.
Yes.
KD at 4. And Wilt Chamberlain at 5. That's a lot of offense. I like it though. Look, KD is a great defender. LeBron, Kobe, MJ, all of those guys can defend.
Wilt
that might be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, Wilt is going to be blocking everything.
Wilt's gonna be blocking everything. All
That's
right.
it.
So can anybody think of a 5 in the chat that could beat that 5? I mean, that's pretty crazy. If you guys are just joining, drop me a follow. Let's make sure exclamation point raffle. You guys have got that. We're gonna do giveaways. But talk about the 5 that you guys would like to see. Mitch's is LeBron, Kobe, MJ, KD, and Wilt.
Yes.
I like it. I like that one.
Yes.
All right. I see Zach has AI, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and Shaq. Shaq. Okay, so you left Shaq. You picked Wilson or Shaq. Talk to me about that.
Well, Shaq is my guy, but what I'm doing right now, I want some speed, and I want to spread the court with all shooters. So I got shooters and I got scores, and I want Wilt to be just like the dominant guy where I'm come to the lane, I'm just throwing the lob to him. I can do that with Shaq, no question about it. But, you know, if I had that other 12, Shaq would be in my other. Shaq would be coming off the bench and sometimes starting sometimes if I could put another team in there, another 12.
Hey, Mitch, I just got a word in. You had 1,326 three-pointers in your career.
1,326.
That's got to put you, I don't know, probably in the top 30, right around there.
I think if I'm not mistaken, it's in the top 20.
Top 20.
I think.
Yeah, that's probably right. Because Dame just jumped. No, I think Dame just jumped into the top 20, and maybe he had 1,300. Somebody will let us know. But that's a boatload of threes in that generation. I can only imagine in this generation, you just be chucking them up from half court.
Oh man, no question about it.
No question.
You know, my
He's
game.
kicking himself for not being born 10 years later. No, I love that. That's amazing. We got some great teams that are being built. Magic, Steph, Kawhi, KG, Kareem. KG's another good one too.
Yes,
I know you're close with KG. Steph, MJ, Kobe, LeBron, and Kareem. Kareem's another center you got to think about. Somebody put Dennis Rodman at center. That's crazy. I love it. Like, that's the great thing about my team, these fantasy lineups. And like, I wanted to ask you, Mitch, like, obviously, once you leave the game, once you leave the NBA, it's important. Do you consider like 2K a device to kind of educate and remind people of the greatness of some of these guys that leave the league? What are your thoughts there?
No question about it. I think the game and what you guys have developed, man, is pretty awesome. You know, you got young kids who are really trying to be general managers. You got young kids are being coaches from your platform. And yeah, it really kind of keeps the younger generation knowing about the older players. I do have some gripe. I have some gripes about you, man. Y'all got me about looking like I'm about 6'2" on the game, man. I'm 6'5". You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
6'5", you know.
Are you still growing in your retirement? That's amazing. You're 6'5". Okay, we'll note that. Somebody note that.
Yes, 6'5", man. It got me looking like I'm 6'1.5".
Yeah, we can't be doing that. You're 6'5". Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, we'll get that fixed. Sorry about that, Mitch. That's amazing.
I think the game is so important, man, and I think so many kids learn how to actually kind of balance the salary cap, how to match trades together now. It's so many learning things that you know about the game, not only just on the court, it's just off the court also.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, I remember Mark Cuban, I think it was a couple of years ago, where he's like, the game itself like allows us to educate on guys, and it's a mechanism for what they want to do. You know, like I think about MJ all the time, and obviously he's still selling shoes with the Jordan brand and killing it. But a part of that extension is, you know, that you can buy these Jordans in the game and that they kind of stay relevant through that. It's amazing, you know, like it's a symbiotic relationship that has just, you know, hopefully it gives you guys that were so important in the league and gave so much back to the league, gives us an opportunity to give back to you. And I talk about that all the time. So, any experiences with 2K recently? I don't know if the kids or anybody are playing it.
Well, before I got on this chat, I was actually just playing. So I still play. I have a group of guys that we get together. We put together our own little tournament.
Any guys from the league?
Well, I used to play with guys, but it's all just like my friends around
Yeah,
here. And I have some guys sometimes just jump on and we play. But other than that, man, we have a fun time with it. It gets competitive. We have our own little pool of money that we play for, and we go from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey Ben, you should drop the code in the chat if you're on
Okay.
there. I don't have the ability to type right now because obviously I'm interviewing Mitch. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard while we have it. Let's give this a quick look, and I'll talk to you about this, Mitch. So here's the leaderboard. Of course, we're playing for 250,000. This is the third day of qualifications. These top four that you see lit up in green are the leaders at the moment. So we got Pepo next 544. He's built a big lead actually. He should probably safely make it to as one of the qualifiers. He's got 3,175 points. Behind him are Mouse Cry, Lucker Shot, Panda Wings. They're bunched up, second, third, fourth. There's a lot of guys nipping on their tails. We got K-Bold, T-Loading, Ren, any of these guys. Of course, this goes up till 2 o'clock, so just about 32 minutes from now. This will wrap up. This is, of course, the Xbox side. I believe this is the Xbox side. Is this the Xbox side? I think it's the Xbox side. And we have, no, this is the Xbox side. I'm tripping. And so 4 guys will qualify today on both consoles, and in March we will have a single elimination tournament, and the top 2 will get paid. Number 1 will get 200K, and number 2 will get 50K. So these people are building some really cool rosters. Here we have it on the PS side. We got Cold Winter. He's also opened up a little bit of a lead, 32.52. Smokehouse 9816. Skip the Gamer, Mr. Realo Man, and that dude Chris right behind him. Anybody's ball game. We still got 30 minutes. Of course, games that start before 1 p.m. Qualify for qualification, and the top 4 will move on. And then there's only one more day, and I believe it's February 6th is the next day. If somebody could just verify that in my Slack check, but it's around then, first week of February. So there's only this spots are running out. So make sure to build your team. Make sure to make it happen. So 250K. That's a pretty good chunk of change. Life changing, right, Mitch?
Amazing, man. This game has came so far. Each and every year, man, you guys come up with something, and I'm just excited each and every year to see what you come up with. And can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
100%. Let me get a bet. That's what I want to do. Okay, cool. So, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was your card in my team. So we're going to be giving away a log code for everybody to get an amethyst up until midnight Pacific time. But we are going to have more cards of you. Like, so you're an amethyst. Of course, we have pink diamond, Galaxy Opals eventually, all of these other rankings. So tell me, you mentioned your height, we'll fix that, but tell me your thoughts on what attribute, even if you don't think you have it, you'd want to see added to your player. Do you want to be like a guy that gets like 1,000 blocks a year? I just want to hear what you want to get boosted.
I'm going to give you a little analogy. So a lot of people know, they know me by shooting 3-point shots or jump shots. But when I came in the league, I was known as a guy that drives to the hole, and I was always trying to dunk everything. So a lot of people don't know that about me. I would like my dunks to be up, man.
You'd like your dunks to be higher. I love that. Well, that's the great thing about my team too. We don't just talk about somebody's entire career, or in this case, like somebody's this year. We go back and look at years past, even performances past. We've celebrated just single game performances. Obviously, Clay's 37 points in a quarter has been celebrated in my team, and other things that have happened in the game. So we could build an early career Mitch Richmond card that just dunks hands on everyone.
Yeah, see, people remember me at Sacramento, but they don't remember me at Golden State. And Golden State, I played only 3 years there, but I had some outstanding years there, so yeah, man. Boost that thing up, man.
That thing of, okay, it has been put into the universe. I'm sure we can make that happen. But going back to Run TMC,
Yes.
I think about like that roster as
Mhm.
a my team itself, and then playing in this generation. I just think that the possibilities are endless. And again, maybe there would have been an adaptation towards stretching the floor with the three. I mean, all three of you could shoot.
Right.
That would have been really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it was. I think we still played like the generation of the day, and like the new Warriors. But we didn't use the line as they did. I mean, we probably played inside the line. And it was only probably a couple guys that can shoot the three. Well, not shoot the three, but Nelly was like, it's only a few guys that can shoot the three on the break. Everybody else got to shoot it through the offense if you're open and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that Don Nelson was a phenomenal coach, and this 30 years ago that he was running the motion offense, and the motion offense is very, very hard to guard, and you can see how hard it was with Clay and Curry and also Durant on that team. That was a monster team when you're playing motion, and you can't really kind of you can't scout that because guys in different places in each game. I mean, each situation.
I love that. Let's take a look, since we're talking about the Warriors, at somebody who's streaming my team right now that's trying to qualify. So we're going to quickly go over to Xdale 1994. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yes, you can. Xdale is one of the guys that is trying to qualify. He's playing here as the Warriors. I'm just going to spit out his team for you. So he's got Steph, KG. Is that Stephon Marbury over there? I know he just had the lineup switch, so hold on. So Stephon Marbury, KG, or is it Ray Allen? I can't tell who that is. Oh no, it's Ray Allen. I'm sorry. So Ray Allen, Anthony Davis, Kobe, KG, and Steph. What do you think about that five? That 4-5 is KG and AD. Steph, Ray Allen, Kobe, KG, and AD.
Oh, that's a pretty good team too. That's a pretty good team. They small up top though, but that's a pretty good team.
Yeah, but that team can shoot the lights out.
Yeah, they're spreading the floor on that. Yeah, no question.
He wasn't getting any rebounds there. He's got Steph wide open, pass the ball. On the other team, we got Kareem. It looks like Indiana Paul George, who was a killer. Mm-hmm. Let's see who else is on this team. There's Giannis, I believe. Julius Irving.
I forgot
and Derrick Rose. Those are the five on the other side.
I forgot about Giannis. Jesus, man.
Yeah, no, the chat was giving it to you for that one.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's so many great players in the history of the NBA, and yeah, it's you forget about the two-time MVP, the reigning two-time MVP.
Yeah.
Who are some of the young guys in the league that you like are just so impressed with, and you think are kind of the flag bearers in the NBA right now?
Well, I mean, it's the NBA is so fun to watch, and each team has pretty good players and young players. You can go from Damian, from Dame to Harden to who was the young player to after the combo. So many, and then you say Trae Young is playing phenomenal right now.
Yeah.
The whole Atlanta team is really kind of fun to watch. They got shoes all around the court, and they're letting Trae play like Steph used to play. You know what I mean? Just giving him the ball and making him make decisions. But I can say it's so many good young players, man, to watch each and every night, man. I'm watching the NBA pass, and I'm just switching channels just to see who's playing and going from there.
Irokaz asked a great question, which is, which of the younger guys, the ones that have come in this year in the draft class, are standing out to you? And then that moment of getting drafted is obviously such a big deal. But for a lot of these guys, they're older than I'm sorry, the game has been, meaning 2K has been around longer than they've been alive. So for a lot of them, like getting into the video game means so much as well. So talk about those two things. That they kind of think back to draft night and that feeling. Who stands out, and then of course what that moment about being in a video game would be like for these kids.
Man, I mean, coming up when we didn't, I guess we didn't have it when I was coming up, but these guys playing when they were like grade school. They're playing the 2K. They're playing these games, and they looking at themselves one day. Man, I wish I can be on that team, or I can make my own man. Now have an opportunity to be drafted, and now really got your own player. Go to your own player, and most guys, when they see themselves on the court, they make sure they play with themselves and shoot every time. Don't let nobody. So, because you actually really got to kind of learn how to play with yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to really kind of get into the practice mode and try to figure out some things that you can do on the court.
Do you play as yourself a lot when you play the game? Like, are you playing your team?
Ronnie, I just said that I just got off the game, man. I was playing my buddy. I was playing the all-time Kings.
So you figured out all your animations. You know what you're doing as yourself?
I think I know myself pretty good. I think I know myself pretty good. It took me a while, but I know myself now. Yeah. But yeah, it's so many good young players. I do like the young kid who got drafted in Minnesota. He has good personality, and hopefully he can be a pretty good player. What's his name?
Sorry, which team?
Minnesota Timberwolves, a young kid.
Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, yeah. I think he's a great young player. So many good guys. I want to see what the Ball brother do down there, and he's been having some phenomenal games at first.
He's looked good. A lot of the guys have Tyrese Halliburton, who was on our last broadcast for the My Team tournament. Yeah, he's been great. Obviously, your Sacramento Kings. Your Warriors, James Wiseman's been great so far.
James Wiseman, yes. And then
it's just exciting. It's what was considered a weaker class has been actually really, really impressive. And that just speaks to where the league is going. It's really great.
Yes. What about the young fellow? I can't remember his name. New York. I think he's hurt right now. But
Obi Toppin.
Yeah,
he's gonna be good too. And local kid, and what that moment meant to him, speaking about like how much getting into the league means, it meant a lot to that kid. So, 100%. Talk to me about, obviously the season just started, and we've done an early taste in a week and a half or so of NBA action. Who do you think are going to be the Final Four? Who's coming out of the East? Who's coming out of the West so far?
Well, the East is fun to watch right now because Atlanta is playing phenomenally. Great. I love New Jersey. But Atlanta beat New Jersey the other day and put it on them. Yeah. So I think.
So you think the Kyrie Kevin Durant thing is looking good?
I do. I think they kind of got to tighten it up a little bit more, but I think they got a talented team, and those two guys can put the ball in the hole. So I'm thinking the East it'll be Boston, New Jersey. Toronto is just a solid team that continue to keep playing. So that fourth team, Milwaukee. So those are the four I think in Milwaukee: Boston, New Jersey, and probably Toronto.
Okay, and then in the West.
In the West, the Lakers.
Yeah.
I think with Chris Paul's addition, Phoenix, I don't know if they'll be the top four, but I definitely know that how Chris Paul goes on and carries himself and runs a team, I think they will be in the playoffs. So I'm going to go to the Lakers, the Clippers. Who's that other team? Dallas scares me. They up and down.
I know. I'm so glad you brought that up. The one night they are up 50 at half against the Clippers, who are the second or third best team in the West.
Yes.
And then a couple days later, they're losing by 40 at half to the Timberwolves. And I'm like, what is going on here?
What's going on? And you look at, Portland has a great team too, but I think what Portland for me is that sometimes they slack on the defensive end, especially at their two guards. They could score the ball, But I would like those two guards or two tandem guards to play a little bit more defense.
Do you think that they could play together and win a championship as those two, or do you think they got to make a move?
I think they can, but I think it's just I think it's a mentality that they got to make sure that they start playing defensive end first. And I think they need a little bit more motion in their game because both of those guys dominate the ball, and if Lillard has it, usually he's gonna shoot it, and if McCollum has it, usually he's gonna shoot it. So it's really not. And when they're playing at their best, that's when they're moving the ball, cutting, passing, 2 or 3 dribbles past the ball and just cutting. And I think they can get there if they just play a little bit more defensively.
Yeah. Remind me what year you were drafted, Mitch?
I was drafted in '89.
89. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you retired which year?
2002.
2002. So you had a 13-year career.
Yeah. 14. 88.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine these guys, both Carmelo and LeBron, now in their 18th year, and especially LeBron playing at the level that they're playing at?
It's amazing, man. And I think just being on the end of the league being changed as far as the rules changed gives you an opportunity to get 20 years if you keep yourself in shape, take care of your body, and take the game serious. And you can see what LeBron has done over the course of his years. And, he's just a machine. Carmelo too. I think Carmelo is probably taking care of his body a little bit more in the last part of his career. But I still think that guy can play also. But it used to be back in the day, you couldn't get guards to have a 20-year career.
Yeah.
It was only big men like Kareem and some of the other guys, but guards never will go 20 to 22 years like Kobe did.
Yeah. I mean, it's a special breed, but that physical treatment that people are getting now is definitely helping. I mean, it's well documented that LeBron spends $1 million on his body. It's an investment towards, continuing your career, extending your career, and playing at the level that he does, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, they have so many things now that you don't really have to beat up your body by how you're training. Because there's so many things. You can do yoga, you can do a lot of stretching. You don't have to spend that much time on the court. It's just really, getting your shots up.
How were those things? When you were playing, the level of thought about like yoga, for example, how accepted was that as a player back then?
I think it wasn't too big back then. I think a few guys were doing it. I remember Kareem, did yoga way back then. Did a lot of stretching. I did a lot of stretching, but I wasn't in yoga classes. You know what I mean? So, these days, you can. There's just so many things that you can do. Guys are traveling with their masseuse.
100%.
Back then, we couldn't wait to get in the city to find a masseuse. So it would take us about 2 or 3 hours to find us a masseuse. And by that time, you had to play the game. Now these guys are traveling with their masseuse. I mean, their stretch person. I mean, they got it all.
It's an investment for sure.
No question.
Let's look back into somebody that's participating in the My Team tournament and jump into a stream real quick. Here is Del Paca. He's actually going through changes on his lineup. Let's see who he settles with as his 5. It's crunch time, actually. So he's in the 52-51 game with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. So he's probably going with his strongest lineup here at the end. Let's see who he employs. Mitch, people are going crazy in the chat about getting your card. I love that.
Oh, really?
And I can't wait for the next one that we have of you.
Awesome.
All right, so let's see who he's got on his team. So he's got D Rose.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Embry. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I know who Embry is, but I'm sure a lot of the kids that play our game don't know who Embry is, and that's what's great about 2K. We're giving these guys a spotlight. He's also got Zion Williamson, Paul George, and then who was his 5th? I didn't see his 5th. Oh, he's got Cam Reddish. So you talk about He's got Embry and Cam Reddish on the same team.
Wow.
I mean, just, future and past meets at the same time, which is pretty awesome.
I tell you what, I played a couple times with Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
They have Brandon Roy amazing. Like you would never. That's the beauty, like you were saying about the game, is that you could put together a roster, and there's some pretty good players if you know how to use them. Would be kind of devastating to play against. And Brandon Roy was one of those guys. So I'm like, wait a minute, come on, man, stop this. I mean, my boy was playing with him one time, and I couldn't.
Were you yelling at him like you would on the court? You'd be like, you're playing too good in 2K, and you're yelling at him like you'd be yelling at him on the actual court.
No question about it, man. Come on, man. You know you can't do that. What you doing?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to talk to one of the guys that was participating in the tournament earlier. As we come down to 12 minutes left in the tournament, JD Crossover is joining us, one of the big My Team players. JD, if you want to come on camera, you can join myself and the legendary Mitch Richmond. Here he comes. What's up, JD?
Hello, what's good? Hello.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
What's up, Mitch? Hello.
What's going on? I like your green screen back there, brother.
Thank you. It's about as professional as we are out here.
So, JD, talk about the experience with the 250K tournament, what you've been up to.
So that was the first time I played in it today. I've been playing My Team for like 5 years now, but today was the first time I played in it. I'm not saying I'm the best player in the world. I don't profess to be. I don't think I'm that good. So I went in it with the mentality of if I get 1 win, I'd be happy. And I got 3 wins. I lasted the first hour. So it was actually a pretty successful time for me, actually. It was good.
Did you run into some of these names that are at the top of the leaderboard?
Yes. No. Did I? I don't know. I don't think so, but I know quite a few of them on the PS4 side. So if I saw them, I would have been scared.
Fair enough. Who's on your lineup? Who were you using today?
I've got Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade. I've got Baron Davis. We've got Cam Reddish, Wayne Embry, and Blake Griffin.
Wow. Everybody's using that Embry card. But yeah, real quick, the top 5 cards by wins for this particular game day. Level 40 Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade. Anybody that has that card, I believe he's still the only Galaxy Opal in the game. One of the best cards in the game. That card's crazy. Galaxy Opal reward Baron Davis. Sorry, never mind. There are 2 Galaxy Opals. So Baron Davis as well. Pink Diamond Allen Iverson, which was available in long codes. There's actually a long code out right now. If you have not picked him up, you definitely should. You either get him or a contract or a diamond shoe or a John Morant released yesterday. I think it's New Year's resolutions is the code. Glitched Diamond Zion Williamson, and then Pink Diamond Aaron Gordon, who was one of the 6 rings rewards in limited. Yeah, lots of ways to get different cards and build that lineups. But the real question I have for you, JD Crossover, is why didn't you use Mitch Richmond?
When he starts getting the diamond and the pink diamond, he's going to be right in that lineup. He was in there last year, but just for now, not quite.
I understand.
I love that.
It's a lot of guys, man. It's a lot of guys to choose from. I understand.
So here we are in the new year, JD. What are your kind of ambitions? Are you planning on playing in qualification game 4? What are you trying to build with your My Team? Are you trying to get to 10,000 cards? Like what are your New Year's My Team resolutions?
Yeah, I will play in the last game day just to see again if I can get 1 win. I'll be happy. And then moving forward, we've got season 4 of My Team coming next Friday. So I've got the Dwayne Wade, I've got that top reward. I've got Blake, he was the top reward for season 2. So when season 4 rolls around, get the top reward from that, and then just keep that rolling on through the rest of the seasons and see what team we end up with at the end of the year.
Wow. I love that. What are some of the cards that you're looking forward to as we, continue to build a ramp towards My Team and, more cards coming? What were some of your favorite cards last year that you're hoping to come back this year?
Obviously Mitch Richmond. Obviously.
There's the right answer.
There's people like the Giannis, LeBron cards, Shaq when he's pulling up from 3-point line, that's always good fun. Steph Curry cards as well, always fantastic. So
Mitch, do you remember Shaq shooting a lot of threes when you were playing?
Not many, but he tried to.
That's the great thing about My Team. I was asking Mitch what attribute he wants added to his player that maybe he didn't have or had early in his career, and he said he wanted to dunk like his his rookie days.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that.
First 3 years, man. I was a dunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JD Crosser, any questions for Mitch while you're on? Anything you want to ask him about his career or anything?
What, you put me on the spot now?
That's all right, man. Hey, listen, just ask a question. Don't worry about it.
What is one of your most memorable shots?
That's a good question. Memorable shots. I had a couple game winners. I can't remember. I don't know it was I guess against Portland. Against one against Boston. Yeah. Sometimes it all kind of crumbles up. I don't really know when it was, but I had some good shots at some point in time.
When you got that many, they just merge into one.
Yeah, I guess. Not that. Yeah.
I mean, the man had over 1,300 made threes before they started shooting threes. That's the big thing. Hey, JD Crossover, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate your time.
No worries,
hopefully, hey, maybe you can sneak in and qualify on day 4. So,
if a miracle happens, I'll be there.
That?
If a miracle happens, I'll be there.
Well, good luck. We all love watching everything that you do with my team. I appreciate you doing that. Until next time, thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks for having me. Thanks, guys. See you, Mitch.
Right, have a good one, man. See you.
All right, real quick, we got to look at this leaderboard as we are just 6.5 minutes away from these qualifiers. So, like I said, Peponex 544 got a big lead. It's shrunk a little bit, but he should hang on and grab one of these spots. He's up almost 600 points. T-loading is still there. A couple new guys, and that's what makes this day so exciting here at the end. Mousecry and Reefly, both of those guys have jumped into the top 4, but they are heavily pursued by C-Mars, Arto, Cable. There's a lot of guys. Panda Wings, who was in the top 4 earlier, is now down to 8. It's going to be interesting to see them how they time, getting a game in here and then seeing if they can sneak in another game. It will go until their final game is complete, as long as it begins between now and 5 minutes and 40 seconds from now. These are the winners, those are the qualifiers on Xbox. Here we go. Let's look at the qualifiers on PlayStation. Here we go. We got Cold Winter, who was number 1 earlier and still is. Skip the Gamer has jumped up, and Smokehouse and I Bet Dude Chris. So the 2, 3, and 4 have swapped here. But right on their heels, Mr. Real Man, who was in the top 4 earlier. New Man Goat, I love that name. He's right there. Grussy, Steve, Jack. There's a lot of guys. This is going to come down to the wire as it always does. Stay tuned to the My Team account, who will announce the winners when we're here at the end. I just love that we're giving video games gives you this spotlight to, make this much money and stream and get in front of a bunch of fans. It's pretty crazy, right?
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, you always had guys putting a little pot in amongst themselves, but now you can get online and get on you guys' platform and win a lot of money. And man, $250,000. Are you serious? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I love that. There's a couple really good questions in the chat. If you guys have any questions for Mitch, I've been hogging up all the questions with him, but we got like 5 minutes left with Mitch, so I'll ask a few of the ones in the chat. Mitch, who was your favorite teammate to play with?
Definitely the Run TMC team.
Okay. Hardest person to guard?
Hardest person to guard, everyone knows it was MJ, and there was plenty more guys, but he was one of the guys. Yes, of course.
What team was the hardest to play against in your career?
I think back then it was the Bulls, the Pistons, and probably Portland Trailblazers. Part of those teams.
I love this question. Philly Eagles ask, is Run TMC the greatest nickname for a squad ever?
No question about it. No question about it. You see that they continue to try to find a trio and trying to name them, and they can't do it.
Yeah.
So DMC has been pretty nice.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Somebody said the bad boys, but I'm kind of partial to Run TMC. I know the answer to this question because I hang out. Chris Mullins used to live here in the Bay Area for a long time. He's obviously now coaching. But
no, he's still there. He's still there. Yeah.
Is he back in the Bay right now?
Back now.
In the holidays, I know he's always here, but I see him like at least a couple times a year. He's a great guy. Was his flat top really as clean as it looked?
It was clean, brother, and he's still active to this day. Probably a little hole in the middle, but he's still got.
I mean, he built a crop circle. What's the best arena to play in? Says Charles, Florida.
I think back then it was, playing at the what is that? The Lakers arena at that time. It was what was the name of it? Jesus. Yeah, about that time it was good to come down here and play in LA, and it was also good to play in Boston.
Oh yeah, of course.
Something about that arena, man, was just the floor. It was just, and the rim looked like it was like a big laundry bucket. It was great to shoot at.
Colin Plants asked, did you always want to be a pro ball player, or did you have any other dream as a kid?
Well, growing up, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My number one sport was football. And I didn't start playing basketball organized until the 10th grade, and I loved it and fell in love with it, and then I switched and just played basketball from there on. And I didn't think I would ever make it to the pro. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just thinking about where I'm going to play next because I love the game so much.
Snipe God asked, who was your favorite NBA player growing up? Who was the guy that got you to play in the league? Who did you grow up idolizing?
Who's my favorite player growing up?
Yeah, well, when you were a kid.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, it was all football players until I started playing basketball. So I would say at that particular time, it was Dr. J. I kind of really like how Dr. J kind of carried himself on and off the court. Loved the
What was your football team? What was your NFL team?
My NFL team, I'm sorry to say, was the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God! Get it? Okay, this broadcast is over. We're wrapping.
So first of all, I'm a Miami guy, so that is one of my teams. But Dallas was number one, and Miami was number two. So I've been having some heartbreaks here for a long time.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard because we are running out of time, and so is the leaderboard. There's 19 seconds left. Not a lot of changes here as this thing updates, but this doesn't end until the last game is played. And so the last game starts within 8 seconds. We're going to have the final leaderboard. Go check out the NBA 2K _ my team Twitter account to know who won. And the time is out. So the last qualification games are being played up until the end of them. And then that is all. So this is day 3. We got one more day. Again, it's February 6th. So coming up in just about a month, do all you need to do to get ready for that. The last 8 spots will be on the line. And then we're playing for 250K in March. So that should be a lot of fun. Hey, Mitch, we got to do this again, man. It was a lot of fun to have you and talk hoop.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, maybe next time we can release a card at the same time as having you on. That'd be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody was like, give us a Mitch Richmond Galaxy Opal. We're going to have to make that happen.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Mitch Richmond, everyone. Hey, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the winners getting announced. I'm sorry, the qualifiers, the rest of them will get announced on Twitter. So stay tuned for that later today / tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I'll be in the city. So join me right here on Caffeine. Thank you guys. And I will, and thank Mitch, everyone. Everyone have a happy new year. And I'll see you guys on my broadcast tomorrow.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one, man.